Imagine you are very passionate about something. It's not hard to imagine. Let's say you're very passionate about video games. Now, you're very passionate about this one video game, and you want to talk to your friend about it. So what do? Your friend lives right below you. You live in an apartment. You knock on their door. Hey man, how you doing? Chop it up a little bit. Let's go talk. And you're talking, and then the conversation veers to your favorite video game. Now imagine, as you're explaining how much you like this video game, your friend isn't looking at you, isn't acknowledging that you're speaking, isn't even facing you, doesn't tell you about anything you said. How do you feel? This briefly shows the importance of active listening. So, active listening is a crucial skill for better understanding others and fostering deeper connection. Everything that I just mentioned that your friend did, you want to do the opposite. First, we have to define what active listening is. So what is active listening? Active listening is a communication technique where the listener fully concentrates, understands, responds, and remembers what is being said. Now, you can do this with a couple of techniques. The one that I want to show you, I'll just call it the Nate method. The Nate method is where you hold your hands like this, and you respond and ask questions based on what they told you. Let's say, for instance, about that video game once more. I'd be like, is it playable on Xbox? And then you tell me no or yes. Is it crossplay? And then you tell me no or yes. How long have you been playing said game? It's already a game changer there. Second point, we're going to talk about nonverbal cues. So this is posture, this is body language, this is eye contact. Active listening, obviously, you want to be facing whoever's talking to you. You want to have not like insane eye contact where you never look away, but eye contact where you and the speaker are both connected. And you also want to have body facing speaker. So if you are the speaker, I cannot be like this, because this shows you that I'm not listening. Once you have the body language down, the active listening part itself is easy. You just do your signal, keep your body language, and you listen. Another crucial point that I want to strongly suggest is don't interrupt. A lot of people, when they listen, they don't listen, but they are thinking about what they want to say next. Say, for instance, we're going back to the video game example. So you're talking to me about this video game, and instead of listening to what you're saying, I'm trying to think about another experience I had with a video game that I can share with you. It's not active listening. And anything, if I was your friend, I'd be pretty mad at you. I'm not saying I'm mad at you, but you want to do the opposite. Instead of thinking about what you want to say next, don't think at all. Just listen. You have to become a blank slate and just allow the person who's speaking to spew onto the canvas. And then, when they're ready for a response, you just tell them what they've been telling you. That's it. So, we're gonna do another example. Let's say you like skateboarding, and you're talking to me about skateboarding, and I'm listening, I'm nodding, I'm not interjecting. I have my good body language, I'm facing you, we're making eye contact, I got a smile, and then you say, what do you think? Well, I'd be like, well, I think that's sick, dude. Tell me about when you did such. Have you ever dropped in a half pipe? Have you ever landed a kickflip? What's your favorite grind? Dude, it's simple. You ask them questions about what they like, and they give you examples. And then the conversation keeps going. You're actively listening. This is how most conversations go. you're not going to be doing a lot of talking in most of the conversations that you take part of. You're going to be doing a lot of the listening. And this is just part of becoming a really good communicator, because a lot of people don't like when you talk over them, or when they're trying to talk and you try to talk. It doesn't work out well. Imagine if you were trying to talk to a police officer or a judge, and then every time they spoke, you try to speak over them. It doesn't go very good. Let's do an example. I know I've been kind of going through this a little fast. I did a bunch of push-ups before I recorded this to lock in. We're gonna do an active listening example. In this example, I'm going to be the speaker. You're going to be the active listener. So I want you straight posture. I want you to make eye contact with me, and I want you to nod your head as I speak. I'm going to talk about volleyball because I play volleyball and it's something I could talk about for hours. We're gonna talk about the libero position. It's the first one I played. I'll tell you a story about how I became a libero. Here's your active listening part. So, when I first started playing volleyball, it was because I watched this silly little anime named Haikyuu. And I, being 5'4", shorter at the time, I didn't know what to play. I couldn't spike, couldn't block, serving was a hassle. Setting, I didn't even have the coordination for, so I didn't know what to do. What I did was play libero. Libero is a very, very fun position because all you do is pass and all you do is defend. I could sit in the back row, rotate while the middle is out. Basically, when the middle has to come to the back row, either they play back row or a libero comes in for them. All I have to do is play defense for the middle. Super easy. It's my favorite because of all of the defending you have to do. I really like defense. It's my favorite part of the game. I like passing. I love serve receive. When you're able to control the first touch of the game, you're allowing your team to gain momentum. You're allowing your team to get into a flow with a good pass. And serving is fun too, because regardless of how limited the serves you have as a libero are, you can still serve a hefty fucking ball. So that's an example, right? I'm guessing you were doing active listening. I could tell you more about active listening, but we're gonna go into passive listening and what that is. So passive listening, which is the opposite of active listening, is listening without showing your speaker that you're listening. So let's say, for instance, that I was passive listening to you talk right now. I want you to just talk for 5-10 seconds. So when I say go, you just speak for 10 seconds and I'll show you passive listening. Okay? 3, 2, 1, go. That's awkward, huh? That's awkward as hell. I'm not facing you. I'm nodding, so I'm kind of acknowledging that you're speaking. You can't see my face, but I'm still listening. You just don't know it. That's the difference between active and passive listening. Active listening, your speaker knows that you're listening, and they know that you're tuned in and interested in what they're saying, making them want to speak to you more, meaning that they like you more. Passive listening is the exact opposite. Your speaker doesn't know that they're talking to you or even that you're listening, and they might not want to talk to you anymore, or they might not even want to be your friend. And a lot of people, though they listen to what is going on or to what their speaker is saying, they listen passively. You have to be very invested in what your speaker is saying, because we know. Speakers know, the listeners know. Once you make eye contact, you make like a communication, or not a communication, a connection. Shit. I've spoken about active listening and passive listening. And I've spoken about the benefits. But now let's speak about how you can practice this. I want you, this is an actionable step, by the way. That last one was not an actionable step, that was an example. This is your actionable step. I want you to go find somebody and spark up a conversation about their interests. Very important. However you find out their interest is however you want. I have 3 examples where I gave you the hell yeah, that's interesting, all of that. So find someone, spark a conversation about their interest, and actively listen for at least half an hour. First actionable step. After that, I want you to consistently practice active listening with every single speaker. Teacher, mom, police officer, judge, whoever you meet, coach, You need to be actively listening all the time. And you will notice the insane shift in people's attitude towards you. Because now, not only are you listening to them, you are listening, they know you're listening, and you are intrigued. So they feel like they can provide you value through whatever they're saying, and they like you more. That's it. That's the end. I hope you got some value. If you got value, you can show me value by sharing, liking, or subbing. If you'd like to work one-on-one with me, I have a Calendly link in the description. I've started coaching so that we can gain your authentic voice. I'll teach you active listening. I'll teach you everything that I know about becoming a people person so that you can break out of your shell and into the world. I'll see you.